So we got this ice machine here. Apparently it's not working. We're gonna go to our event log. Long freeze, long harvest, high pressure cutout, TXV, curtain fault. They got a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, we're just going to clear everything. And we're just gonna turn it on and see what happens. We are in water purge. Water is gonna be going down the drain. I know it's going over the evaporator right now, but they have their hose over here, so it's gonna dump water out. Not convenient, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do when you're out here on a construction site. So before this thing starts up, I was just touching this. It seems kind of stiff. I don't think it's supposed to be that stiff, but maybe. We'll see what happens. Oh my, I don't know what that is. Oh, I think that's a water pump. Yeah, they have some type of external water pump that feeds water into this machine. I thought there was something wrong with possibly the compressor or something, who knows. Okay, next step. We are supposedly in pre-chill, but my compressor is not running. We can go back here to outputs and we can check our, right there, compressor contactor is supposed to be on. So I could either have an issue with my contactor, my control board, or my compressor. So let's figure out which one it is. All right, so we went into freeze while I was taking this off. And as you can see, my contactor is not pulled down. Right here, on the coil, you can see that it's kind of melted. That plastic around there that's supposed to be just like a protective coating is all melted off to the side, and then that spade is kind of rusted out. I'm gonna initially just assume that this contactor is bad, but I'm gonna test it first, make sure that I'm actually getting 120 at that coil, and see what happens if I just manually press that in, see if my compressor comes on. All right, so as you can see, we got 239. I said 120 earlier, but obviously it's a 208 machine. The coil of that contactor is getting your 208 power, but it's not pulling in. You can go a step further. You know what? I don't recommend you doing this, but you can always just verify that everything else is running just by pressing your contactor in. Obviously, my compressor is energized. The contactor is now passing power. It just means that this coil is not creating that magnetic force to pull that contactor down. So let me go ahead and find a replacement for that and swap it out. So I went ahead and found myself a replacement contactor. Exact match, all the numbers and everything line up. Went ahead and unplugged my unplugged my ice machine, excuse me. Now I'm just gonna start taking these wires off one by one, swapping them over, make sure I don't get anything messed up, and then see what happens. Oh, and it's kind of interesting if you look at it side by side. You can see a difference in the way that coil looks. You can tell that that coil there has been overheating and melting that plastic. Okay, new one's put in. This is our old one. We know what we do with our old stuff. We just throw it somewhere, right? We don't hold on to that. It's just trash. So new one's put in. I'm gonna go ahead and plug that back in, turn this on, and see if there's anything else wrong with this machine, besides the fact that it's dirty. All right, we just went into pre-chill. Contactor's pulled in. Compressor is running. Evaporator is getting cold. Let's see if we can make some ice. So I initially thought that we were gonna have some issues with our fan, but that seems to be cycling on and off like it's supposed to be. Like I said, it was a little tight at first, but it seems to be working. And I did have some frost initially on my compressor. It might have just been because of the first cycle. It's not something I'm used to seeing, but you can see that it's clearing up pretty good. It's all melting away. I'm gonna keep an eye on that, make sure it's not a repeat issue. We might end up having a TXV issue. Looks to be doing good so far. We got some cubes forming. This machine is still absolutely disgusting. I'm gonna obviously recommend the customer has it clean, but considering that it's pretty much a freaking trash heap in here, that I doubt that they're gonna want to clean it. They probably just want to have ice to cool down these bottles of water right here. And that drain doesn't even go anywhere. It goes like to the floor, just down here on the asphalt. There's not even a way for the water to drain out properly. But man, like I said, this is absolutely disgusting. And it sucks too, because it's like an $8,000 piece of equipment. 14 minutes and 53 seconds later, we are in harvest. We're gonna see what the ice looks like when it falls, make sure it actually does fall, and then we may be able to just call this a day. Moving forward, and just like that, we got some ice. Let's see what we got going on down in here, besides dirt and mud. Let's look at that. Some solid cubes, good bridge. Happy with that. A handful of things that I'm seeing with this machine that need to be addressed. One, there's no legs on this machine, so your drain just is sitting on top of the asphalt here. It's completely disgusting, dirty. This isn't on here correctly. There's like a gap between here and the ice machine. This is all full of spider webs and dirt. This whole panel is broken off. You can literally see right through it. Let's see what else. Storage bins full of dirt. I don't know, man. So I've been asked a bunch of times what my process is for diagnosing and fixing ice machines, and it comes down to sequence of operations. If you know how the machine is supposed to work, all you have to do is wait for it to do something that it's not supposed to do, or wait for it to not do something that it is supposed to do. That's really what it comes down to. I knew that the compressor was supposed to come on during pre-chill. The compressor wasn't on, so it kind of led me down that path of checking, is the compressor getting power? Is the board sending power to the contactor? And once I kind of knew that that was the direction I was going to be going in, I opened up the control box and just saw the contactor wasn't pulled in. It was kind of burnt, and that was just a dead giveaway. So know the sequence of operation of the machine you're working on, and everything should be pretty smooth from there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.